Alright, interestingly enough, I was filming some videos. Not filming, editing some videos, because I have a bunch of videos I have not yet edited. Right here, under unedited videos. Here they are. They're just clips at this point, and not much. So I've still got to edit those. But what I did find when I checked my what's it called? Keep forgetting things. The SD card inside the camera is that there's another set of clips for a video I thought I lost, because this is I sat it in that video handed down after I built an absolutely ridiculous new setup. The old one was given to me. Here it is, iMac Pro. And I formatted it because I was actually using what was on there just with DaVinci Resolve to edit some stuff, and I dumped a ton of my video files there, and I thought I deleted them from the SD card, which I did, and I thought I lost this as well when I formatted it and forgot to back up the stuff. But it turns out I still have this, and I can still edit up the first take of my setup tour. So yeah. How long have I been recording this? Minute 42. Alright, enough talking. On to the setups. You'll be seeing this setup in the video, as well as my PC setup first take. I'm a little more in-depth in my second take, so you can just watch both if you want. So both will be uploaded, because this one's in 4K. Alright, while I was recording this, actually, I'm going to use this video as a test on whether I should turn down the mic volume, but that's not the point of this clip. It is that I did make, I'm not sure if I made it in this cut or the other cut of the film of the setup tour, but I did compare the CPU in this iMac Pro, the W2191B, to the 7980XE from, yeah, pretty much, like the specs are a lot the same, except this one's like 0.1 gigahertz faster turbo, but this one is 0.3 gigahertz faster base clock speed. Even though they were both introduced in the second half of 2017. This is for the 2191B, which is inside my iMac Pro right now, and this one's for the 7980XE, again, the second half of 2017. So they are very similar. But the benchmarks show that the 7980XE is slightly faster. This one's 28,765, and this one's 30,417. So it's not exactly the same, I have to say. I think this one is like a custom-made one for Apple, and also I'm not sure if this one supports ECC. Yeah, this one doesn't support ECC, the i9, while the Xeon does. And I believe this one has ECC memory. Let me double check. I'm not sure. It just says there's 128 gigs of it. Maybe system information. Will tell me. Memory. Yeah, ECC is enabled. So yeah, it does support it. Good to know. So that is like the other difference. Alright, that's the only clip I wanted to add in. Now let's start the setup tour. What's up, guys? Setup tour, August 2023. Here's my setup I'm using for pretty much everything. I have another Mac setup that's in another room I'll show you later. But this is the PC setup, which we'll start with. So, before we move on to all the peripheral accessories and equipment, let's talk about the PC itself. Down here, it's got an i9 11900K, 64 gigabytes of DDR4 3600 It's got RTX 3070 right there, and it's got 2 terabytes of PCIe NVMe Gen 4 M.2 storage. The case is the Corsair 4000D Airflow. It's a really nice case. I would build pretty much any PC in here, unless I have a very specific need to use a different case. I just like how usable this case is for most systems. I have a 240mm radiator, although I believe this one can support up to 360. Yep, and all the fans are the same. They're the Corsair ML120 fans. Power supply is, I believe, 850 watts. Corsair RM850X or something, or is it just an RM850? You're wondering what this is? It's a DVD drive. Pulled this out of a Dell Optiplex SFF, small form factor PC, and bought this adapter off Amazon because I needed it to play some DVDs I had. That drive back there is just another storage drive for other stuff that I can transport to another computer in case I need it. In addition to having that storage drive, I also have this, which is a Samsung SSD T7. This is for when I need to like copy stuff off an iPad or something, or anything with USB-C on it. Right. Moving on to the desk. This mouse I'm not using because it's for my laptop. I don't really have a laptop right now. I'm trying to get me a MacBook Pro 14-inch. Hopefully I'll get that one day. Alright, on to the equipment here. Keyboard is the Keychron Q6. It's a full-size custom mechanical keyboard. I put the Kalebox Jade switches. Got them off mechanicalkeyboards.com. The keyboard was bought from Keychron. If I don't say where I got it, assume it's from Amazon, because that's where most of the things here are from. Right, so the only thing that has been changed about this custom keyboard are the switches. I put the clickies in there. Yep. They're loud. But at least they have a more satisfying click than Cherry MX Blue. Alright, for the mouse and mouse pad, this is the Logitech G Pro X Superlight. It says they're Superlight. And the mouse pad is the G Power Play from Logitech, so it's a wireless charging mouse pad. The mic is the Rode NT USB Mini, I believe. That thing right there you're looking at is a fingerprint scanner. And the extension cable to bring it up to my desk. The speakers, which I've laid on their sides, even though you can stand them up properly, is the PreSonus Aris E3.5. They're a relatively small set of studio speakers. Next to it is the Topping L30 Mark II. It is a headphone amp. Why the crystal ball on top of it? Number one, I like the color green, so for aesthetic, as well as to weigh it down, because if I take it off, this will flip back up, because underneath the desk I have a RCA Y splitter, one to send signal to the speakers, as well as to send signal to a subwoofer, which is down there somewhere. It's actually hidden. I think you can see it back there. I might be getting a different sub, a nicer one, but probably not now. Yeah, so that's to weigh it down so the amp won't just flip back. So this is my volume control for both my headphones as well as the speakers. I don't have to use the Windows volume control, and I don't have to use the speaker volume control. Now the headphones I'm using right now are the Audio-Technica ATX R70X or something like that. ATH R70X. They're a pretty nice set of headphones, studio headphones, so they're really nice. They are open back, as you can see, so that means the sound does come out, but also increases the listening experience. Right, for monitors I have all these are 4K, but they have different refresh rates. The one in the middle is Asus XG27UQR, or something like that. XG27 something. It's a 144 Hertz 4K display, 27 inches. This one's the LG Ultra Gear S27GP950, I believe, and it is 160 hertz. It's over here and not here because I kind of like the color profile of the Asus one better, and also because it can support my Logitech webcam. I think this is C925 or something like that. It has a pretty bright green light here when the camera's on, which can be distracting, but whatever. I was thinking of upgrading to Logitech's facial recognition 4K webcam sort of thing, so that I don't have to use the fingerprint scanner. And on the right, I have a Dell S2721QS, I believe. It's a 60 hertz 4K display. It's for, like, you know, opening big documents like PDFs and stuff if I need to see the text a little more closely, as well as, you know, running apps that work better in vertical, such as like Kindle, for example. If I need to read a book, I'd like to see it as one big page rather than two small pages. Just personal preference. Calculator, it's a big graphing calculator with like a color screen. I think it's the Casio FX-CG50 or something like that. Back here is more of a novelty product than anything. It's a phone. There's no keypad, as you can see, because it plugs in through USB. So I could technically hold this up during a Zoom call or something like that and listen to the people through the earpiece and speak to them through the mic. So it just looks weird. Say more than anything, yeah, it's a novelty. Alright, moving over here, I have a shelf next to the desk. On top is a hard drive that I taken apart. It looks like a mirror now. So it doesn't work, obviously. This one's also a very old one. Uses the IDE standard or something like that. And the shelf, which I used to use to charge all of the devices I had, like iPad, ThinkPad, P17 Gen 2, Surface Pro 9, MacBook Air. Yeah, all of that would have been here, but looking to, how do I put this? Decrease the number of mobile devices I have and kind of condense it into, I don't know, 14-inch MacBook Pro or something like that. Because, you know, Apple does make good laptops, even if you can't repair them or customize them after you get them. Of course, you can customize them when you're ordering them. Alright, and here's the charging station for other stuff, like I got camera batteries there, charger for a Dell Latitude laptop, which I forgot to mention. I still have that one, but looking to get rid of it. Maybe sell it to help fund the MacBook purchase, because I'm waiting for the M2 ones to go on sale whenever the M3 ones come out, so I'll get the previous gen ones. I don't need a super powerful laptop anyway. I just need one with a nice screen, you know, nice feel, you know, premium laptop. Doesn't have to be the most powerful either. Yep, so some charging, USB-C, Lightning. I think I have a micro USB somewhere. I don't know, somewhere. And there's that sub back there. There's a 12-inch Infinity sub. I think it's a BU120. So it's pretty big, pretty loud as well. Back here, obviously the LG has tons of RGB on the back. You can't really see the Asus RGB unless you're on the other side of the desk. All of these monitors are held up with monitor arms, as you can see. I have 3 of them instead of just getting one that supports 3 in case I need to move one. And there I have an antenna extension for better Wi-Fi connectivity. A stapler and a coin jar. Yep, that is the primary setup I use most of the time. Alright, let's move on to the Mac setup, which is in another room. Alright, one more thing I'd like to mention before we cut to the different scene. I have a battery backup here. It did help when we had a power outage just a few days before recording this. Yeah, so I was able to save the work and shut down. It actually held up pretty well because the computer was sleeping for about an hour. Not an hour, maybe more like 30 minutes after the power cut out, and turn it on, save all the work, and shut it down. And the cable management could do better. However, I don't think I will because the setup is constantly changing. So fixing up the cables doesn't really make much sense because then I'll have to take it apart again. So that's the reason for the bad cable management. It looks pretty awful. Alright, this one's the Mac setup. It's a different room, smaller desk. At least how deep the desk is. The one downstairs was 30 inches, this one's only 24. Enough space just for the keyboard, that's it. One of the monitor risers, so it can bring it to eye level, as well as because there's that hole in the desk, I can't put the Mac on top of that. I could remove the grommet and put the Mac on top of it, but it looks better this way. I'm gonna log in real quick. Come on, hurry up. As you know, this one's an iMac Pro. Give it a second, it's still loading. Why are there two mouse pointers? Okay. Alright, I should have started the video after I did. Anyway, after I logged in. Anyway, I'm gonna sit down and start filming this. This one's an iMac Pro. It's a 2017 model. It's got the 18-core Xeon W. I think this is like the professional variant of the 7th gen i9 or something like that, you know, the Extreme Edition one. So yeah, I think that's what it is, because the clock speeds are the same and stuff like that. This one's got 128 gigabytes of RAM. And it has the Radeon Pro Vega 64 16 gigabyte graphics cards. This is actually going to be my editing setup right here. This video you're watching will be edited on this machine, kind of stitched together, you know, cut out bits and stuff like that, you know. Yep, here's my editing setup. It's also got the LG Ultrafine 5K displays off to each side. And for the keyboard, we're running the Keychron, sorry, the camera's not focusing. That's better. Keychron Q3, 10 keyless, so it doesn't have the numpad. And for the switches, we're using the U4T 65 gram switches. Both of those I got at different websites, the keyboard at Keychron. The wrist rest was from Amazon. It's pretty nice. It's from Glorious Gaming. And it fits these TKL boards. For the mouse, I'm using a classic. It's the Logitech G502 Hero. Very comfortable mouse to use. And for my headphones, I'm using the Beyerdynamic DT700 Pro X. They connect straight to the computer. I don't have a headphone amp at the moment for this machine. Might bring my JDS Labs Atom stack up here and put it here maybe, I don't know, or underneath the thing. I don't know, I'll have to figure this out. This is still a new setup for me because it's sort of like a second-hand / hand-me-down setup. Yep, and I have the trackpad here in case I need to use it for some special gestures that the mouse cannot do on a Mac. This one's also got 2 terabytes of storage, so plenty. I may add an external hard drive if I need it, but I think 2 terabytes is enough for at least a few video projects. Because after all, I am recording on this Panasonic camera. It's a FZ1000 Mark II camera at 4K 30, so it'll produce some decently large files. Yep, this is my other setup. I use DaVinci Resolve to edit. So that's the setup tour for August 2023. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. One more thing worth noting that I didn't mention, I'm editing right now actually, in this video, is that the only thing I added between each cut of the video, the first one was this one I'm currently editing. The second one is already scheduled to be uploaded on YouTube. It's this USB drive. It's a Samsung T7 500 gig. I now use this to store the videos in case something happens to the Mac, because like last time I did lose a ton of footage because, well, that was kind of my fault because I formatted the Mac and forgot to back it up. So now I have this thing, so whatever I do to the Mac, everything's already backed up here, all the videos at least. Not the other stuff, I don't care about that, you know. This one's my video editing machine, so its main priority is videos. So, alright, well, that's gonna be it. I already said thanks for watching, right? I think so.